Welcome back to Wrestling Flash. If you are new, be sure to like and subscribe for more wrestling content. Without wasting any time, let's get into today's video. The episode of Raw after Hell in a Cell featured an 8-man elimination tag team match between Retribution and The Hurt Business. One of the weirdest angles in recent memory unfolded on live TV during the match as Mia Yim, now known as Reckoning, began to experience what initially seemed like a seizure. Yim rolled on the mat and scratched herself while also screaming "Get it off" as the referee and the other superstars looked on. The bizarre moment distracted MVP, and Slapjack took advantage of the situation and eliminated the leader of Hurt Business from the match. Mia Yim took to Twitter and explained what really happened to her on Raw. The Retribution member claimed that she didn't suffer a seizure or an epileptic attack. Reckoning was under some possession. Yim added that she would never fake a medical condition, not a seizure, not an epileptic, a possession. To clarify, "I would never fake a medical condition like those." A fan also called out Mia Yim for her bad acting skills, and she responded with the following tweet: "It worked." It's safe to say that the reactions to the Mia Yim spot from Raw have been overwhelmingly adverse. WWE finally broke up the New Day in the recent WWE draft after the trio had worked together for years. Big E was left on SmackDown, while Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods were drafted to Monday Night Raw. Big E is now said to get a singles push on the blue brand, but it looks like the decision was made by someone new in the creative team. The former Intercontinental Champion has revealed that Daniel Bryan is the one behind the decision. Talking on Gorilla Position, Big E said, "The nice part too is I feel like I have a voice with the SmackDown creative team. We're able to go back and forth with some ideas and they're actually listening. Also, I have to give credit to Daniel Bryan because the idea for the solo run was from him. Like, Bryan is the reason. He's not just like, hey, Big E. But he's actually a part of the process. He's the one who said, hey, this is what we should with Big E, so he's been behind it, and for that I'm really grateful. But it feels like an environment where I do have a voice. I'm not saying that I get to do everything I want to by any means, and I also think Raw has a great roster as well. But I love our roster. I look around and I see a lot of talent and a lot of new, especially with this draft. I feel like we got better with the draft when I look around at the roster and just the opportunity to have some fresh matchups." Big E is expected to continue receiving his push and was recently involved in a feud with Sheamus on SmackDown. It's unknown what the future holds for him on the blue brand, but many have touted him as a potential opponent for Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins appeared on last week's episode of The Bump, where he mentioned that anybody who appears in front of a camera or behind the scenes in WWE is a potential recruit as his new disciple. Rollins then went on to boast about his vast amount of experience and a wealth of knowledge that he is willing to impart to anyone on the roster. Interestingly, Seth's former disciple, Austin Theory, quit WWE NXT last week. It is possible that he could reappear on the main roster and become a disciple of Seth Rollins once again. The Mysterio family's heated storyline with Seth Rollins and Murphy has become a regular part of WWE SmackDown's weekly programming. Their long-running feud has drawn a lot of attention over these past few months. During his recent appearance on WWE's The Bump, Rey Mysterio mentioned that his feud with Seth Rollins affects the family at home. Believe it or not, we come back home, and this topic that's going on right now, that doesn't just stay at the Amway Center every week. It comes back home with us, and we discuss this, and we try to figure it out, what the best solution is, and I think the only solution for all this is to finally put an end to it, with Seth first and foremost, and then move on to Murphy and try to understand what his deal is with the family, and most importantly, my daughter, Aaliyah." In last week's edition of WWE SmackDown, Rollins defeated Murphy in the main event. Despite Aaliyah's family disapproval, Rey Mysterio's daughter came to Murphy's aid when the Architect was about to deliver a post-match beatdown to his former disciple. Rollins was able to blindside Dominic Mysterio when he entered the scene and tried to convince his sister to stay out of it. However, SmackDown's savior managed to escape when Rey Mysterio arrived to intervene. On The Bump, Rey Mysterio talked about the growing disconnect between him and his daughter because of the Murphy storyline. "We've always had a great relationship. We communicate a lot, but for some reason, This has in a way separated us a little bit, you know. But things are still on the edge. They haven't been completely clear. I don't understand why she's not opening up to me and putting everything clear and on the table." 2 months after her last social media update, Becky Lynch has taken to Instagram to share a picture of her baby bump. The former WWE Raw Women's Champion has remained largely quiet on social media since announcing that she is pregnant in May 2020. Now, she has given fans a glimpse at how she looks 5 months after her last WWE appearance on her Instagram story. Becky Lynch announced her pregnancy on the May 11, 2020 episode of WWE Raw. The former Raw Women's Champion immediately relinquished her title and revealed that the Money in the Bank winner, Asuka, would be her predecessor. Although Becky Lynch frequently used social media with WWE, she hasn't provided many updates about her pregnancy in recent months. One day after her announcement on Raw, Lynch wrote that her dreams came true as a WWE superstar via Twitter. Since that week, Becky Lynch's only posts on Twitter came in August when she jokingly teased that she was writing an autobiography. Becky Lynch also shared her thoughts on the Black Lives Matter movement in multiple Instagram posts in late May and early June. Prior to the baby bump update, her most recent Instagram post, a promotion for a TV show, took place on June 30th.